So today we're talking about one of my favorite LinkedIn topics, and that is LinkedIn analytics or KPIs, which are key performance indicators. And I know some of you may be thinking to yourself, wow, how can that be important? How can that be exciting? Why would you even want to talk about this? Well, there's a reason why you want to look at your analytics. Now, key KPIs, key performing indicators, in relation to a business have many different facets. It could be your email open rate. It could be how many downloads of your podcast you have each month. How many emails that you broadcasted. Sales. How many people unsubscribed from your email list. How many opt-ins you had for certain lead magnets. In relation to LinkedIn, you can track your impressions, your engagements, your top performing content. That's why LinkedIn KPIs, LinkedIn analytics are so important, because they tell you what you need to be doing more of and less of at the very same time. So we're going to dig into this, and I'm going to walk you through my strategy, my analytics reporting, and what you should be doing at the same time. Now, before we jump into today's episode and today's training, as mentioned, next Monday, September 22nd through Friday, September 26th, Nancy and I are doing a free LinkedIn workshop. It's called the LinkedIn Client Journey. Over those 5 days, we're going to teach you how to adapt our LinkedIn growth engine strategy of converting more of your connections into paying clients on the platform. It's completely free. It's from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live and recorded. You can watch the replays. If you can't attend live, you can watch them back the same day. If you would like to register, if you're listening on the podcast, the description of this episode has the registration link. Just click on it, get yourself registered. If you are watching on social, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just type the word "me" in the comments, and I will send you the link personally to get yourself registered so you can join the nearly 200 people that have already registered in the first 7 days. So this is the last week that you can sign up, and we would love to see you there. So why is checking your LinkedIn analytics crucial to your business success? Well, as I mentioned, this allows you to take a deeper look into what is and what is not working. So for those that don't know where the LinkedIn analytics are, if you were on the home screen of your LinkedIn desktop application, on the left-hand side, you will see post impressions, and it'll give you a number, and there's a hyperlink to it, which you can click on it. Now, what this does is that this takes you into your content performance over the last 7 days, 14 days, 28 days, 90 days, last year, or custom, where you can put your own date range. Now, the other thing is that you can actually switch it from impressions to engagements. So what people need to understand, some people don't know. So impressions. So the only person that can see the impressions are you. Everyone can see the engagement, which are the likes, the comments, and the reshares. But the impressions, it's the number of times your posts were displayed on screen. This number is an estimate, and it may not be precise. This is per LinkedIn. The graph below shows the change in impressions on each day in the selected time range. Engagements, obviously, per LinkedIn, the total number of engagements on your posts, including reactions, comments, reposts, premium custom button interactions, and visits to links in all posts. So you can see I can switch it from impressions to engagements if I want to check out the difference to see if there was anything increased or decreased, right? So the other thing is below, if you were to go on there, it automatically, the default setting is impressions. And what you can do is if you scroll down, it's going to give you a couple different things. It's going to give you discovery, which the discovery is, again, the impressions, the number of times your posts were seen on LinkedIn, but also members reached is the other analytic tool that you can go by. It's the number of distinct members and pages that saw your post. This number is an estimate and does not include repeat displays per LinkedIn. Now, after that, it will give you the top 3 performing posts from the last 7 days. So for me, an image text post that I did was my top performing post. A poll that I did in a group was my second most popular post. And then a LinkedIn Live that I did was my third most popular post. Now, what I like to do is I like to take monthly and quarterly looks. So all you have to do, and what that means is I like to look at things, yes, weekly, but the KPIs that I'm looking for are over 28-day cycles and over 90-day cycles. So where it says 7 days at the top when you're in your analytics, I would switch it from 7 to 28, and then I would hit show results. Now, this compares versus the previous month. So for me, my content was down 30%. I had 50,000 impressions over the last 28 days. I reached 20,000 members, but you can see, and there is a disparity. So not every month it's going to always go up and down. So I'm not concerned about that. But my top 3 performing posts from the last 28 days were 3 polls that I did in 3 different groups. And that says a lot to me. So I can see that whatever I'm doing in these groups, it's really resonating with those specific audiences. Now, again, I can switch from impressions to engagement, and that will show me over the last 28 days, my engagements actually increased by almost 6%. So what does that say? The impressions aren't always everything. Again, that's how many times it was seen, but not only was it seen less, more people engaged though. So that's a really good sign for me. So I can see that, yeah, I had a 6% increase in content performance. And then I can also see which posts got the most engagement, and all were image text posts. So I can see that my top performing posts for engagement, hands down, are image text posts. So one got 128 engagements, another 73, and another 70. That says a lot to me. Now, I will look at a quarterly view, but at the end of the quarter. So October 1st is the start of the new quarter, Q3. So that's when I'll go in and I'll really look at how did everything go over the last 90 days. So if I'm just going to take a peek now, I can do that ahead of time. So my engagement over the last 90 days was actually up 20%, which is really, really good. And again, my 3 top performing posts were text image posts. So now that tells me, okay, my audience really enjoys my text image posts. So how do the engagements compare to the impressions over the last 90 days? Sometimes they correlate, sometimes they don't. And actually, again, my impressions were down 25%. So I had almost 200,000 impressions over the last 90 days. Members reached were down, impressions were down, but I had more engagement, which is actually a greater measure of metric than actually the impressions. So the other thing is when I look at what were my top impression posts, so I'm now seeing a trend. I'm gaining the most impressions through poll questions. So my top 3 impression posts were all questions: 15,500, 14,400, 14,300, all polls. So if I want to focus more on getting more impressions, then I'm going to obviously post more poll questions. But if I want to focus on more engagement, I'm going to post more image text posts. Now, if someone was to say, well, what's more important? Well, here's the thing. Impressions are great because it's being seen by more people. That's all fine, well, and good. But you want people not only to see it, but to engage with it. So with me, if this was, I was really taking a deep dive into this, I would say, okay, I really need to go all in on more image text posts because that's what's creating the most engagement, which is building the most know, like, and trust, which is also going to allow me to create the most business potential. Because Impressions are great. Those are people that it's been shown to, but engagement is better because those are people that are actually taking a warm action. So what is a warm action? They're liking, they're commenting, they're resharing, or they're doing all of the above. So I really want you to, in looking back at this training at this episode, really see what works for you. Should you be looking at your analytics weekly, monthly, quarterly? My suggestion, in the first, if you're getting used to posting consistent content, you're just starting down that road, maybe start with every week, just kind of seeing what your audience is liking week to week. But if you want to take that 10,000 foot view and even that 30,000 foot view, the 28-day cycle and the 90-day cycle of your analytics are going to give a more telling story of what is and what's not working and what you need to do more of. And you notice when I was talking through this, I wasn't mentioning any of the worst posts. LinkedIn is only going to show you the stuff that is working because it's going to say, hey, this is working for impressions. This is working for engagements. You should do more of both of those things if you want to get more impressions or more engagements or both. So before I close out today's training and today's episode, well, one, I hope you found today's episode helpful and training helpful. But again, if you have not yet registered for our free LinkedIn Client Journey 5-day workshop from the 22nd to the 26th of September from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all you have to do, the description of this podcast episode has the link where you can register. If you're watching on social, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, just type the word me in the comments and I will get that link right over to you. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you next time.